that after my brother died, drowned on 911, 2 years later, the phone rings. This cute little Jewish girl living in Santa Monica with two little boys and a husband, 38 years of age, calls and tells my mother, I hope you're seated because I am your granddaughter. And my brother had had an affair with Debbie Dorfman when he was younger, 17, in upstate New York. They were the parents of the Jewish Community Center in Poughkeepsie, New York. So they were ashamed. They moved right out of town. They sent her down to Florida to have the baby at a school for unwed mothers with the stipulation the child had to be adopted by Jewish. Didn't have to be Orthodox, but Jewish family. Okay. So my brother, before he died, said, don't tell Mom you should really be upset, but I think I have a daughter somewhere. So anyway, the phone rings a few years ago. They've flown in here. They rented a house on the beach a few times. I've flown out to see them multiple times, and we've all got really close. And it's really cool. It's DNA. So anyway, remember, I'm sitting last week. I'm getting this little massage, and I'm feeling a little sorry for myself. And the phone rings, and I took it. It was Cece. She says, "Red, I have news." I said, "Oh, is it good or bad?" She said, "No, it's not bad." But she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm here with this Kathy, and I'm getting a massage." Oh, I'll call you back. No, I want to know now. I'll call you back. Oh, I don't want to know. I'll call you back. Tell me now. She told me, she says, "Well, Brett, I have a half brother. Apparently, Scott had a son who's now 46 years of age. He has two boys the exact same ages as Elijah and Jonah. So he and I have been on the phone all weekend long. I now have a new nephew. This DNA stuff is really." The people are finding each other.
Sure.
That's cool.
Is this wild?
Yes,
it
it
is
is
wild.
Yeah.
So I cried and I laughed and I cried, and because it's like I found a piece of my brother that still lives. And I've got Cece now. Now I've got Now what I'm expecting is the doorbell to ring and somebody go, "Hi, Dad."
You never know.
To be honest with you, I would give anything that could happen. I lied. My big regret.
Remember that day at Woodstock?
Well, on the radio, let's see.
I'll be honest.
No, I love kids. I really do.
Properly cooked.
Yeah. But with the lifestyle of a minister, there's so much, so hectic and busy, and I just don't know if
But I would say this. Do you know what I've lost by not having children? The number one thing.
What?
When I hang with somebody else's kids, I mean even little ones, you learn something.
Oh, I've seen you with the little ones. You're great.
And I'm so glad.
Shouldn't I have been a dad? I should have been a dad. I could have been a contender. I could have been a dad. I could have been somebody, God.
Could have,
I
should have.
really think that God didn't like me. Something about me. I said, what character
no.
flaw is there in me that I didn't find favor with you, that you would trust me to have children, It's really very painful.
Brett, it's never too late. There's so many kids out there that don't have dads in their life. And even if it was just a big brother type of dad, that statistically, and then I've heard this from the Hibiscus Center.
Yeah, what
but they said statistically you increase the likelihood of a kid being successful by 70% if they have one person that they know is going to be there for them.
That believes in you.
That's right, just one person, and they don't have to do anything. They don't have to be brilliant. They don't have to provide financially. They just have to know there's someone they can call if they need them. Just one person.
Well, couldn't he be a surrogate grandfather?
Absolutely, and he could be, like I said, a big brother to someone at the Hibiscus Center or foster kid. I've had that with being a big brother with someone I met on the street, and he calls me. He's from Michigan now, and he calls me every once in a while just to let me know how he's doing and everything like that. And I found out years later that he was actually suicidal, and he was going to kill himself when I met him. And
was that the one you met when you were walking?
That I was walking.
Succinctly tell. Have you heard the story? This is a true story. Okay.
Yeah,
not the long version.
I'll tell it short. Not
that I don't want the long version. I'm just afraid the listeners might,
Well, I always went on this walk the same way every day.
Where?
And then
Michigan?
Is in Michigan, in my neighborhood. And then for some reason, I felt like I was supposed to go a different direction. And I was kind of arguing with myself. It's like, I have this little voice that let's go to the left. And I'm like,
so
no, it's ugly to go to the left. There's cars there. It's nasty. Go to the left. And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, why am I arguing with myself? Fine, whatever. I'm going to the left. And I'm walking to the left. And I see this guy who is like hunched over with a hood over his head next to a fence.
Young
Looks
guy.
like a gangster. I mean, he really like the stereotypical 90s don't do drugs gangster thing. And I feel this same voice that says, go talk to the kid. I'm not gonna go talk to the kid. Then, go talk to that. So finally I'm like, fine, I'll go talk to the kid. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so I'm going to talk to the kid, and when I walk up, I see that he's crying. And so I say, hey, are you okay? I'm fine. And I'm like, do you need to talk to anyone? I'm like, no. Okay. And I'm like, well, listen, I'm here if you want to listen for whatever you have to say.
I mean, if you want to talk.
Or if you want to talk. Yeah, I'm here to listen if you want to talk for whatever you have to say. And he said, who are you? And I said, I'm nobody. It was really corny. But this is what I said. I'm nobody. But I have 2 ears and I'm ready to listen. And so he started talking. And next thing you know, we ended up talking for hours. He just kept on going. And I was just listening. I didn't say much. I just, said, well, at the end of,
listening is healing, Dr. Charles Stanley says.
Well, for him, it was what he needed, I guess, because at a certain point I said, well, this was great. It was, here's my number, and I got his, and I said, you want to get together and have coffee sometime? And he said, okay, sure. So we got together a couple days later, and so we ended up just hanging out, and we just, do random stuff.
As it turns out, though.
Putt. It wasn't until months later that I found out that he was on his way to kill himself, that he was, working up the courage, already had the plan, already had the everything that he needed to kill himself, and was planning on doing that evening, and decided not to just because I listened, and we're still in touch to this day.
And the thing that we were talking about off the air is, even if you didn't know he was going to commit suicide.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but even if that never came out,
yeah.
you would never know how much you helped somebody just by being nice to them. Which cost you, how much money did that cost you?
Zero.
How much out of your whole life did that cost you? Nothing really, other than a couple hours of listening to somebody that sounds like you become.
That's right. I had
a
a great time, and we're still friends. Yeah, he's at the time he was a lot younger than me, but now we're becoming like peers, which is funny how that works.
Look at the local Joe Conrado, who owns the McDonald franchises. He was a poor boy, didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, living in the Canary Islands. He's a little boy, I don't know, 8 or 9. He said maybe 10. Some guy gets out of a car. He's got a suit and tie on, a handsome man, and starts talking. They're just talking to him, and they're talking for a while. He says, he said, young man, there's something about you. You're going to be somebody someday. And the man walked down the street and out of Joe's life forever, but he kept it in his heart. He came to America. He said, Rhett, they threw me into a room of Spanish-speaking people. They speak Espanol Spanish in the Canary Islands. He said, get me out of this room. I want to be with regular people. I want to learn English. Anyway, he gets a job here in Vero Beach, Florida, at the local McDonald's. He worked so hard that the owner over the years says, when I retire, I'm going to make sure you can buy this franchise. And he did. And now Joe owns 4 McDonald franchises, and of course is extremely wealthy. He gives a lot to the local schools and stuff. He's actually driven me over to schools. I mean, cool. But look at this. All because one guy. I mean, he remembers this, said, something tells me you're going to be somebody someday.
Wow, made an impression.
Yeah.
Well, it does.
Think about all the people that were influential in your life, or at least in my life, were all people that just said things to me or talked to me or it had nothing to do with anything physical. It was always, and I can, if I sat down to write them out, they were all just like one-line phrases or a pat on the back, or you did good, or you're a good guy. All those things helped build me, helped build my character.
Sure. And sometimes
it was all nothing physical. It wasn't here's a check, here's a building for you to go do. It was all just lines and guidance and things like that. And
very positive.
Probably if we all sat and wrote those things down, we'd probably find out that we had pages of things that people said to us that helped guide it. Yeah, that shaped us into who we are.
Yeah, I remember when I was 13 or 14, I was having a problem, and they sent me to see a monk. Where Bill O'Reilly went to school, Marist College in upstate New York. So I remember sitting on the park bench, and the guy on the campus said, well, all these things you're going through really are, instead of a problem, they're a challenge. And he turned the whole thing around, just like the Greeks say, for every obstacle, there's an equivalent opportunity. And true. Really, if there is. How many things have been done because somebody said, I couldn't get this done. They create something. The next thing you know is it's just amazing. Look, we got to take a break. And today's broadcast is, of course, in here we have Chuck Cannon, American Life Insurance. We also have Beverly Osler, who's our concierge. Good morning,
Good
Beverly.
morning.
And we
friend.
have, and what?
And friend.
All friends,
And friend,
all
yeah,
friends,
definitely.
all friends.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what a good way to start off the week. And Richard Dempsey. This is the Mayor of the Airways. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Dr. Tim Ioannidis, Center for Advanced. No, he's not Center for Advanced. He's Treasure Coast Dermatology. You should get a full body scan every year because the Florida sun can be pernicious. Skin cancer can kill you. Get a full body scan. Tell them I sent you. Treasure Coast. Pretty easy to remember. Treasure Coast Dermatology. Dr. Tim Ioannidis. Also today's broadcast brought to you by Center for Advanced Eye Care. Dr. Mallon, Dr. Snell, Dr. Katz, Dr. Gadadade, Dr. Briannigan. Center for Advanced Eye Care. 5 eye doctors that genuinely care about your eye care. And don't forget to tune in weekly, 10 a.m. to hear the best docs, top docs in Vero Beach, right here. Rhett's new show.
Okay.
You know, making a mistake like that every once in a while helps people realize that you're doing it live.
Yeah.
That, you know, instead of just a canned.
Oh, do you want to know what happened
recording.
once? So the Tides came on a few years back, 10 years ago, right? And I made the mistake the first time on the air of telling it was on Ocean Drive instead of on Cardinal. And they got a bunch of phone calls. They've never gone away because they know it works. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
So a negative became a positive.
Yeah, that's-
Also, if you have a client and there's something goes wrong, he didn't play my ads, whatever. Every opportunity isn't. Now, what if I could go, oh boy, you know, instead I fix it. Guess what? It strengthened our relationship.
Sure.
So every combative thing that happens, if nothing happens, it's just a bland relationship.
Sure.
If there's some give and take,
Right.
then it's. Didn't you guys say? What did you say today? The quote of the day. The quote of the day.
Oh, you mean about,
Enemies or something. If you
Yeah,
don't have an
sure.
enemy, you're not.
the one, yeah.
Say it
Man who
again.
has no enemies has no character.
Yeah, and that's kind of from the same spit.
I have another possible quote of the day. I used it yesterday in my sermon.
Oh, you have to wait
But-
for it for next week.
Oh,
Oh, no,
maybe.
you can tell them.
Okay, we're talking about, you know, giving back, and my sermon actually on Sunday was about this kind of stuff, because it was about whenever we can give something of perceived value for something of real value, that's an incredible deal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was talking about, you know, money and things like that. Augustine has this quote. Where he
Saint
said-
Augustine.
Saint Augustine, yeah. He said, "The bellies of the poor are safer storehouses for your money than your barns." Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Isn't that so cool?
Yeah.
The bellies of the poor.
Are safer storehouses than your barns.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you remember the story that the guy, we read that yesterday. The guy says, "Hey man, I got so much. I'm so successful. I'm gonna have to build barns to store it in."
That's
And
right.
Jesus said, "The Lord said, Thou fool, this night thy life shall be required of thee. What will you give in exchange?"
Yeah.
You know, people acquire a bunch of crap. Now, I didn't say it on the air because I didn't know if I should. But one time, like I gave this guy at what's the cool place? The place out here where you get hamburgers, Steak and Shake. And the kid did some magic tricks. He was waiting on us, magic tricks. So this made it into a Debbie Maycomer book, by the way. She tells me about it. Yeah. And what I did was I gave the kid, I said, you know, why aren't you doing magic? "Oh, I don't have any money for cards. Well, so on the way out, I gave him $100 bill. And I don't normally do that much, you know, but I gave him $100 bill. 2 years go by, Thanksgiving Day, or it was either, I know it was Thanksgiving. The phone rings. "Mr. Palmer, you don't remember me. I'm now living up in Melbourne, and because of you, I bought cards, and now I have a thriving magical thing, and I do magic
Yeah.
tricks
That's so cool.
what do you call it? At parties and stuff like that. A life change.
That's a rare.
So
Cool
see all these
story.
stories you're saying when you say you don't feel
That you
self-
made a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've already made a difference in half a dozen
Well,
lives. just sitting here.
maybe I'm really trying to convince Scott so he'll keep me around longer.
You know what you need
I
to do?
can't do it. You
You know what you need to do? You need to have It's a
I
Wonderful
can't
Life
hear.
experience, you know,
Pardon me?
where you see
Yes.
Bureau Beach
Whatever you
without
guys
Brett
just
and
said,
what would
I don't
happen,
hear
you
it.
know, it's like,
What
that'd be a cool little skit, you know.
Well, you know-
think of
Do
like,
you know when I do if you ever want to do this, by the way, I take the antique car and I drive it in the parade every Christmas. And I go, "Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas!" And they love it.
Awesome, yeah.
I mean, some people get it. Some people are like, "What?"
You're right.
Hair looks good. Good cutting.
Yeah.
I need a haircut bad.
Okay, good. I'll send you over to him.
Well, who is it?
He's very, very good.
I don't need $100 haircut
Ladies,
though.
No, $20.
Oh, okay.
I think it's.
Oh, is it
15 or
the
20.
Berber's barber?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's really
Is he
good. Yeah.
Yeah, he comes in for breakfast. I like him, but I've never.
Yeah.
I know where he's at.
Yeah, no, we're gonna call him.
No, don't call me
It
now.
makes me
No.
look good. Yeah,
Well, no, because I don't even know when I'm gonna go in.
that's okay.
I kind of like hair a little bit long.
Well, I'm from that age group where I like my hair longer, but it just gets, it's too much.
It's too much. As long as
So
you're,
how's that
If I had a
before?
head that was shaped better, I'd just shave it, or at least cut it down with a clipper.
uh-huh.
But my head looks like some sort of alien. It feels like it's all discombobulated, so I don't.
You're lucky you have hair. My 3 sons
That's
and
true.
are all bald.
All my cousins and my brother all have receding hairlines and a big bald spot in the back.
Oh, is
I'm
that
the
right?
only one so far that hasn't had that happen. So somewhere, way back when,
Yeah.
somebody had a full head of hair and I got that gene. Isn't that weird, when you think about it?
They didn't have
They
that.
did. They
Yeah,
must have
right.
had yeah.
Right. So what's happened? My father tried to invent something for baldness.
Really?
Yeah, it was a contraption you put on your head, took the pressure off or something.
Hmm.
He had this dream he was going to solve it.
That would have been a big
Yeah.
money maker there.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Are those all, what are those all?
Excuse me.
Are those tickets you just bought or?
These are rights.
All right. Oh.
Yeah, he asked me if I would take them to the store. I won't do it, but I'll
Are they
set
all
it up
winning
for him.
tickets or you don't know yet?
I don't ever buy a lottery ticket.
I don't either.
He
In
hasn't,
fact, I've probably bought 10 my whole life.
maybe I bought about 5 my whole life. And then you get your expectations. Maybe I'll be the only one. And then you get there and it's nothing. Ah. I hope he doesn't think I'm going to take these. Gosh. That reminds me, somebody won $65 for the lottery,
Mhm.
but she's been doing this for years. She really put in $65.
Oh, at least probably, yeah.
We all have this dream.
Yeah, I guess, I don't even know what I would do if something like that happened.
You're pretty content with your life, aren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I am, but I mean, I have aspirations, but it's just, yeah, I wake up in the morning, my wife and I talk about that. I mean, contentment's not a bad thing.
No.
And we're very comfortable. We like our lives. We get
Mhm.
along. We have a great daughter.
Just remember, you guys in there, we're on YouTube Live.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh-huh. Well, how fortunate that you have a good relationship. I miss that because I had it, but at least I had love,
Yeah, that's
people,
true.
Some people never
Yeah.
experience love.
Oh, what was it? Somebody said, I can't remember the little quote they said, but they said it's not just important to be in love, it's important to be loved. And you can be loved by a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I thought every time he said that, I keep trying to figure out different ways that he meant by that, but I like the saying because
mhm.
you can accidentally fall in love. But to have people actually love you means that you've passed some sort of a
Yeah.
litmus test with them where they find you great to be around.
Mhm.
So,
I
and you
remember-
love people for different reasons.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, one day I felt sorry for myself and I said, I'm not number one in somebody's life anymore because my husband treated me. So she said, but think of all the twos you have.
Right, true.
I
That's
mean,
true,
think
yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's wonderful. I recognize that.
I'm always amazed, especially with Facebook and social media,
Mhm.
how, because I don't know what it is I'm trying to say here. You go through life and you think that you have your small circle that appreciate you.
Mhm.
And then with Facebook and stuff like that, sometimes I go on there and there'll be 100 people that'll say something nice about you. Like, wow, 100 people thought of me
I know. So
to
you,
say
I
something.
can see why you love Facebook.
Well, I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I'm just saying when it does happen, a lot of times I'll think about the fact that there's actually that many people out there And mine's small compared to other people. I mean, Red sits there and has thousands of people comment on it.
I think it's great the way people express themselves.
Yeah.
On Facebook, and maybe face to face, they wouldn't
Well,
say those things.
And you're right, because I've met people that, just last week, I met a girl, a lady who, her and her husband became friends of mine on Facebook, but we've never met.
Oh,
And-
how weird.
And she came up to me and my daughter out at the outlet mall last Monday, and she said, "Are you Chuck?" I said, "Yes." She goes, "I'm whatever her name was." And like we introduced the daughter, she introduced her husband, and he goes, "Yeah, I think I'm your friend now," and all that. We just talked for like 15 minutes. And then she now says, "Oh, it's so great to meet you in person." Or, you know what I mean? I mean, it was just kind of like,
How exciting.
I would never have met her or talked to her if it wasn't for that.
Well,
You know what I mean? You would have just passed.
I,
But I
I,
like that.
I found out my cousin, I haven't seen her in 40 years, and because of Facebook, we found each
Reacquainted,
other.
yep.
Hi,
Thanks.
I'm getting you
Hold on,
ready.
hold on, here we go. I'm so sick of politics, con man in the bag of tricks. Well, I'm so sick of politics. I think times are worse than when we had Tricky Dick. So, Pastor, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Red Palmer. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And we have Chuck Cannon in here from CJ Cannon's, a restaurant with a beautiful panoramic view of Heroes Municipal Airport. Store for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. CJ Cannon's also has really good prime rib. And you're open 7 days a week.
Yes,
But you close Sundays at 2.
yes, perfect.
How dare you close?
I know.
And we have Beverly
Good morning.
Ostler,
Mhm.
who is our concierge.
Oh, yes.
She's going through my lottery tickets right now, flattening them out. Now, literally, what'd you say? There's probably about 75 tickets. You want to know this true story? We also have Pastor Demsick, and he's going to tell us this whole thing about how he thinks Trump could turn the whole election around. But I want to tell you this. So I buy tickets. For years, I've been buying tickets over at the 7-Eleven on the Barrier Island down near the Village Beach Market. Okay. So it turns out that somebody over there won $600,000.
Wow.
Okay,
wow.
$600,000. And they said, all of a sudden it's in the newspaper. I don't wait at the last minute. Somebody come get you. You've only got 3 weeks. So I immediately go to my office. I never cash my tickets. These are my tickets for the, probably some of these are invalid. They're older now. Anyway, so they say someone wants 600,000. So I have stacks and stacks. And Jody was with me then, and we go through the stacks. We bring them over, and I did not win anything. So no one came in. The $600,000 is lost, gone.
Oh.
Well, guess what happens next?
What?
I found a stack. I found another stack,
Mhm.
and I said, "It's past the date. Throw them out. I don't even want to know." Somebody here in town won $600,000
Oh,
and didn't go and get it.
I
You
bet
want to know what
it
else?
was you. I bet it was you.
You never know. Could
I
have
bet
been.
it
Listen
was.
to this story. Debbie Maycomber, thanks a lot. Debbie Maycomber has an aunt that is a nun. So she's a nun for 50 years, whatever it is. And then they say it's mandatory retirement. She was a school teacher. So she gets out, and I guess they don't have the greatest retirement plans. She gets out and she gets a job, and after a few months gets fired. She's living in the back of her car, nearly 60 years of age. She goes, "I gave you my life. Is this what you had for me?" And she's outside of 7-Eleven, so she goes in to buy a cup of coffee, buys a lottery ticket.
Really?
Tens of millions of dollars.
Wow.
True story. Debbie Maycomber's aunt.
oh my God.
Isn't that an amazing story? Uh-oh. Trouble just walked in. Come on in. Mark, the hair guy's in there. Come on, Mark.
With a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
Anybody know that?
is he coming?
No, it's right here in River
I don't want to
City.
have, it's 5 times now I've had to say, "Come in."
Oh,
There you go. I'll go.
No. He's gonna stand there.
Hey,
So anyway, so tell us your story about, come on in, close the door. When I ask you to come in, you come in right away, young man.
He's not shy.
I'm not
used to taking orders.
Yeah, well,
used to give
guess
orders to
what?
my wife.
I'm not
That's
real
what he
good.
used to do.
How old are you?
I don't
42?
remember.
I'm like 20 years your senior.
okay.
You can't handle the
You
truth.
can't handle the
When I say come in here, you get your butt in here,
Here's the
Pinko.
truth. He hasn't come to work out in almost a month
Yeah.
now.
Wow.
That's the truth.
That's my bad. Well, I was
Yeah,
away.
no, I
You let
know.
everybody know on the radio.
Now listen,
I
so
know, I'm just
it's
retaliating.
Mark the hair guy.
Yeah.
Didn't we just hear you on the radio a few minutes ago? You gave like your
You heard
little shtick.
Kate Dempsick, yeah.
Oh,
you know.
who's that
Isn't
wonderful
she a
person,
cutie?
Kate Dempsey?
She's got eyes for you.
Yeah.
I'm just
good.
putting that
Oh,
out.
Might have to seal the
Yeah,
deal.
did you know her before they knew each other or no?
I did. Well, no, I don't know if
We were dating.
they were dating.
Yeah.
I don't know how long she knew him or not, but they were dating.
Yeah, we were
Mhm.
just
They weren't
just
married.
well, I guess not newlyweds, but just lovebirds.
Newly met.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah,
And Mark immediately had this kind of father-daughter relationship with Kate. So there was even a point where Mark was kind of like, I don't know about this Richard guy. I don't know.
I had to interview him.
Yeah.
I wanted to know where his heart was, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you know how guys are. We don't want somebody doing with somebody that we love what we would have done. I know how guys think.
Yeah, well,
No sitting on that couch side by side. Keep the hands on the table.
it was funny though, because I was like, Mark, I was dating her before you were even her boss. Yeah, but he was kind of like, I still want to
But
talk
that's
to you.
irrelevant. Once you're in the family, you're in the family.
Are you a Johnny Cash fan?
I walk the line. Yeah.
You know, because the new show starts this Tuesday
I know.
at the theater,
I
at
know.
Riverside Theater. I'm going to tell you something. I interviewed the director and I interviewed one of the principal actresses. What's really good is, they have the best to come to the Riverside Theater. We all know that. I mean, they get them right off of Broadway. But I'm thinking they're hired guns.
Mm.
And that they don't probably really like, Johnny Cash like I do, like other people understand his artistry. His best album he ever did was the last one. Believe
Oh,
Me,
I
Man,
agree.
a great faith.
Oh, I
But
totally agree.
anyway, so I'm thinking. So anyway, I get to meet the director and I get to meet her. He's been directing this since 2004. She's been with I don't know how many years, like 10 years. Anyway, these people love Johnny Cash. She was a member of a famous band,
Mm.
country band. I forget the name of it right now. But these people are not hired guns. They love this is going to be some show, and they've flown in some musical cats from Nashville that are going to play. This is going to be fan-freaking-tastic.
Mm.
So Johnny Cash starts this Tuesday.
Nice.
I'll be there for opening night, baby.
Yay.
That was Ethel Merman, right? Opening night, right?
Yeah.
Now listen, okay, now he has a story. Richard has a story. Richard has a story. He thinks, we were back in the kitchen just now during the commercial break. He said, I know how Trump can win this. And I totally believe this.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I think Trump should do.
Yeah.
And it'd have to be genuine. So maybe he couldn't do this, but he'd get a press conference together,
Yeah.
and then he would say, listen, I've gone throughout the country, and listen, I was born into a wealthy family, and I don't know what it's like to really struggle with poverty, but I've listened to the people. I don't know what it's like to be a woman, but I've listened to the women of this nation, and I've realized that the way that I've talked about women has been inappropriate.
I
in the
was a
past.
jerk.
Yeah, I was a jerk, and it was inappropriate and inexcusable, and the way that I've thought of
He could
the
take the
poor
election.
was wrong too. The way that I thought about the middle class was wrong too. I've learned and I've listened, and I want to be your president. I want to be a president
Whoa.
not for the rich.
He can
but
win it
for the
overnight.
poor. And I would apologize to this country for the person that I am, and I want to work for you.
But I am a good negotiator. He never
That's
said,
right.
sell yourself. I am a good
I
negotiator.
am a good
I
negotiator.
will get
yeah,
some. Look at my history.
and I
They
will
wanted
make
to
deals
build
for
that
you.
park in New York City, and they couldn't get it done. The government wouldn't let me do it. I finally did. I got it done in 4 months. I get stuff done. I will get things done. I will help you financially.
Yeah.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, I have made billions of dollars. Now, honestly, I do want to leave a legacy. I want to do something of value with my life at the end of my life. I'm 70 now, 71, whatever it is. Vote for me. I will be your servant. I
Yeah.
vow to. I'm going to turn all my business over to the kids. They're just going to have to trust them. My focus will be on you. Boom.
I just want to put this out here, though, if I can make this point. In my line of work, we take pictures of models all the time, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes just because a girl's pretty doesn't mean she photographs well. Now,
Right.
follow me on this logic.
Right.
Follow me on this logic. The other day, I took my kids back, I don't know, a month or so ago to the Trump rally after one of the debates.
Mhm.
And when you hear the man live, he presents as a very, very different character. I mean, you're looking at this guy, you're listening to this guy, and it feels like a middle-class guy just pouring his heart out. It really did. It felt totally different than when he's on TV. There's something, his TV persona
He
is
puts-
different
well,
than,
okay.
and yes, he has to work
That's
on
like
it. He's
Mark the
gotta-
hair guy. You know, you're being real this morning, but there are times, Mark, where you'll go, "Hello, well, this is Mark the hair guy."
It's just so
You know,
not fair.
you just need to be who you are.
Yeah,
Like Trump.
Brett Palmer
no,
never
hold on.
does that.
When,
Palmer never
He never does that.
when Trump is on, when Trump is live and he's not being, you know, they say he plays to the cameras, but when the cameras stop, you know,
Yeah.
same with you.
Beverly, by the way, is
You-
about to get a haircut by Mark just as he's talking.
You have to have the
It's
confidence
natural.
that your personality,
Grooming.
your personality alone is great.
Yeah.
Have confidence. You don't have to be Mark the hair guy. Be Mark the hair guy. Who you are.
Okay.
I do like Mark.
Yes, sir.
That's right. That's
I
good.
do
Yeah,
like-
20 years your senior. Yes, sir. I like that.
I do like Mark.
Don't forget it's my birthday on the 21st of November.
It's on my Facebook page. I won't forget.
I do like Mark when he's off even more than I like him when he's on. Now he puts a good show on when he's on, and you can tell. But when he's off, I like it
Yeah.
even more. He's even more fun to talk
And
to.
he will learn in time to be more. But
Speaking of off moments
Trump needs to learn
and
that.
candid moments,
Yeah.
did anybody catch Mr. Cannon's post? I guess it was last night.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked
we were
about
talking
it.
about
That was beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Very
And it
beautiful.
just so happened, I mean, you talk about, stars aligning. A good friend of mine died just a few days ago,
Yeah,
and he
I'm
left
sorry
a
to hear
daughter behind, the same age as my kid. They were friends and all that. So when I read your post, I too was thinking about the very same things. It was,
You know, I have a friend that went to the dentist because he had a constant toothache and headache.
Mm.
And when they did the x-rays, they said, yeah, you have some sort of a dark spot there. It could be a pocket, whatever. It ended up being a tumor. Ended up being, they ended up giving him 6 months. This guy went from, he was 48 years old. He's laying in his bed the last couple of days of his life, reading Facebook and Twitter and all that. And everybody's arguing about their stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, you know something, I've laid here and I'm thinking I would give anything to trade places with your problems with mine.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it gives you goosebumps when you think about, and I'm ashamed of myself actually when I think about what angers me or what sets me off.
Sure.
And then I look at my life and we were sitting there, I look at my daughter and she's talking about Halloween and they're buying there. And I'm just thinking, you're so young and you're going through all this excitement and you're just starting to kind of start your adult, and it was just a whole moment. I don't know. I just felt for it. And I love my daughter so much that I try to get I soak it in.
Yeah.
And when we were out there last night, it was just hitting me. And I was thinking, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what it was. I know what I was trying to say. I don't know if it came off that way,
It
but
totally did. Those are those dad moments that,
I guess, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Hold on.
No.
Those dad moments, those glad moments, some sad moments with
I was talking also about when people have overcome cancer and the character they build, especially in the relationships of their family when they stick through that. Because Rhett was talking about Barbara, and and Mark. I know that that's a passion of yours too, of people that are struggling with cancer addictions, and you have quite a few people in your life that have overcome.
Yeah, well, that's like my gig. Matter of fact, today you see me in my little pink
Yeah, you're
shirt.
pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Real men wear pink.
Most people would admit you had testicular cancer.
which actually,
He got miraculously
Yes,
healed
yes,
and had 2
See,
boys.
I wasn't gonna say that on the radio.
Yeah,
just in
Red likes
case
to
you
talk
didn't
about
want
my testing. But listen,
Well, you know why?
here's
Because
the,
you want to know why? Because most people wouldn't be so forthcoming as you are.
here's the reality though. I actually did stop by just to say thank you to you and
For
to
what?
your,
What did I do right
your
now?
board guy. No, last week when we had our bake sale,
Oh,
our goal was to raise enough money for the breast cancer support group Friends After Diagnosis for them to pay their rent at the little church that they rent the little room from. And it was beautiful. Not only did we raise enough money, we raised enough money plus.
right.
And today I'm going to present it to them and whatnot. But I love the way Red Palmer, those private moments, those quiet moments where he doesn't tell anybody, but he gave us a bunch of free airtime, and it really served us well. I mean, we raised some money. I had people come out that I never thought would come out, so that was beautiful. So thank you, Mr. Palmer.
Glad to participate.
Your Irish guy.
Thank you for thanking me for thanking you for giving me the opportunity to give to the community.
No, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But on that note, are we allowed to talk religion here?
Sure.
Religion, politics.
Pastor Dempsey.
No Stalin around
I
here.
don't want to offend him, but
Comrades.
no, it's funny.
Spasiba.
The other day I was tired as hell, and in my faith we believe that service is a big part of your spiritual growth.
Absolutely.
And I was so tired, and I did not feel like going to church in the morning. And, but that was one of those moments I turned to prayer and meditation, which, again, from my perspective, prayer is the act of speaking to God. Meditation is listening to God.
Sure.
And I started talking to God. I was like, I don't want to go tomorrow, man. I mean, I know you need me, and I have responsibilities, but I'm exhausted. I've been working. This damn storm has made me signs. And then I said, but don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm not grateful. I mean, I'm grateful for my kids, and I'm grateful for the work that I have. And as I began going down that list of grateful, all of a sudden I started feeling guilty, as Mr. Cannon said. And I thought, wow, what the hell am I complaining about? So what? I'm a little tired. Let's go serve. And by the end of that whole prayer meditation moment, I woke up the next morning bright and early, and I went and I helped out my bishop, and we got the job done, and I don't regret it. I didn't feel bad about it. So,
Well, Mark
I get your
Mark is a
regretting
Mormon.
comment. You don't.
Tell about that thing you took me a tour. What was it? It's the new temple.
Oh
You know, the
yeah.
temple?
We built the temple, and we had an open press
But
night.
the press is allowed to see it, and then after that, unless you're a Mormon, you don't get in forever. Nobody gets in. Okay. So I got to take a tour of it. And you know what happened?
VIP.
The amazing thing is there's a guy dragging a cardboard box, and he's doing this and doing. I thought, oh, who's that guy, the janitor? And Mark goes, oh no, that guy's a billionaire. The billionaire was doing the janitorial work at the church, because that's why nobody gets paid at the Mormon church. Is that amazing?
I'm aware of that, yeah.
And that here you got a billionaire
Yeah.
who's doing janitorial
But
work.
again, the whole philosophy there is simply, and a lot of people practice it in a lot of faiths. I mean, when you're in the service of your fellow man, you are but in the service of your
Which,
God.
none of us own it.
That's,
And Mark,
that's a fact.
none of us own anything.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
I mean, do you own your bones?
I don't own
No.
anything, man.
Do you own your children? Not really. They're on loan from God.
I always
We own it.
give thanks that for some reason God put me, gave me stewardship over my little business. It's not even really mine. It's like, why would I be successful in business? I have no idea. I'm not that good.
Yes, and he led you to the mayor of the
I ain't
airwaves.
that smart, but luckily I advertised with Brett Palmer in the Brett Palmer Morning Show.
Well, I don't say this lightly, and I know we've talked before, and I've said this to you off the record many times, but I really feel like, and Kate and I talk about it a lot, how blessed she is, the fact that it was her first real career job was with Mark. And he mentored her, taught her how to cut hair, taught her how to treat customers, which is even more important than treating people and loving them. And has been such a good boss, because he doesn't even like the term boss. He's a team player, and it's a team mentality there, and they all are like helping each other, and they'll tell you which one does the better service there for each different thing. And that's one of the coolest things at a salon, is that they're humble enough. She does better hair for color dye. She does better updos, whatever. And or Mark does better cuts. And it's just really cool.
At Remax Crown Real Estate, which is a sponsor for full disclosure, but Remax Crown, they're like that. There's a team, and the John King and the son John King have put this thing together. And I've been up there for some events, and I can't believe the team effort. Everybody has a great. I mean, even though you would think these realtors, they're competitive, but they all like each other. They help each other.
I know you and I have had this discussion over work. I mean, that's the key to any successful business. The other day, I was in CJ Cannon's. The only thing it overlooks is the runway. True story. But no, I mean, true story. Your waitress was attending me, and she was a little bit too busy. She had a lot of tables going on, busy day. I had a problem. I don't know. One of my kids spilled a drink or something silly happened. And one of the other waiters, who was not attending me, who was not going to get tipped by me, who was not on my table duty, he came over and he began to clean and he began to replace my stuff, and he treated me like I was his customer.
Was he the bald guy?
No, it was a younger guy. I told your mom was on duty, and I went up right away and I said, just so you know, that guy has the right spirit. I mean, he had no reason. He wasn't invested in me.
So this is kind of funny because you get a stereotype in your head of what it's supposed to be like at the workplace, and the restaurant. Although there are imagination lines, what I'm trying to say, imaginary lines there as far as how far you go. Sometimes I sit back there and it's like a group of just friends all kind of like getting it done.
And that's the spirit of it, though.
Funny feeling sometimes that, and we joke about it because we have new machines there, new point of sale machines, so they can punch their tickets in that we're learning. And we created a list, a number, so each server has a server number, 1 through I think 25, 30. And I put this list up just based on a payroll sheet that I have. First one is blah, 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 blah. And they started joking about why am I number one, or why aren't I number one, and all that. Well, we started playing around back there about, well, if you waited on more tables, maybe you could move up on the list. And, well, anyway, this whole joking around created this list attention to where we're all back there now trying to get on the list and trying to move up the list. But my point to this was how many people there. It's important to them to be to show what they can do, and it's important to them to show that they're vested. Yeah, no matter how incrementally invested they are, it's still a good thing instead of just having you do this, yes sir, where's my check, and
Well,
go home. I like that.
The attitude of the owner always shows too, and good service. I was talking to somebody pretty well known the other day about this. Good service at a restaurant can make up for fair food.
Yeah, it's true.
But great food cannot make up for bad service. It's
Yeah,
more
that's
important if your server's having a good time and if they know what they're doing. It's just like recently we're somewhere and without asking, the glasses are being refilled with water. I hate it when somebody comes over. You're right. Somebody's telling you, well, my Aunt Bertha just got new. She just got. Oh, you want some more water? More tea? Don't ask. Just fill them up. Don't interrupt the people. It's a very sacred time when you're breaking bread. So good service is so important,
But there is another side. Unfortunately, some people don't even look at the service. They're looking at their phones, which is rude.
No, don't be
Beverly.
rude. I won't go out and dine with somebody who's. Okay, we got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll be back. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Center for Advanced Eye Care. 5 eye doctors that genuinely care about your eye care. Dr. Ballin, Dr. Snell, Dr. Cass, Dr. Cadade, Dr. Brannigan. Yep, Center for Advanced Eye Care. This is the mayor of the airways. 23 years on the air because of nice folks like you tuning in.
Hi.
Howdy.
Every time
Hopefully
you
I'll
see
23
me, it's the
more.
day before I'm haircut. We're going to the show tomorrow night.
That's wonderful.
Gotta dress up.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. I just saw your Facebook. That was beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
But it's great that you could express yourself.
Took a little while.
No.
But I was just thinking, though, I was sitting there, I actually went home after we ate dinner, and I was just thinking about how lucky I was. And,
Where you been,
I hate when I drive around and talk about what I hate. And that's exactly like I'm doing now. But my wife will calm me down sometimes and say, we're driving in our new car, going to our house, and doing, and this is what you hate. And I'm like, yeah.
That's like that old hymn, right? Count your many blessings, count them one by one, because you begin to look at what you do have, and you're like,
Well,
wow.
and I'm telling you physically what I have now. I'll also go home and feel bad, and in a clear blue, somebody will call me up and say, hey, Chuck, I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to say hi, or Facebook. And they'll message me. I just had my cousin message me last night. I haven't talked to you forever. And just felt great about it. I'm thinking, wow, you don't even think about how lucky you are.
Warren Grakes, I'm talking to O'Brien.
Sometimes I'll call them, but sometimes I'll just touch base with them on social media or something else.
This is so
But
unusual.
something that just, I feel good about it. So sometimes, and that's what I was saying, when you just say something to somebody, it doesn't cost you anything. And I'll touch base with somebody and then they'll come back and I'm thinking, wow, they sound like they're kind of halfway excited that I said hi. And then when they do it to me, I am excited about it. So I'm thinking it's nothing.
That's the pros and the cons of these devices, though. I mean, we've lost that conversation,
Yes.
but on the same token, like my mother's in Utah for the next year or so, her time is different than my time, so it's very late for me when I talk to her. So now I'm able to text her when I'm available right after work, and then she doesn't have to answer me because I know she's working. But then when she gets off work, it could be 3 o'clock in the morning my time. She's able to text me back, and so we're able to have these extended conversations that otherwise we wouldn't have at all. So
Sometimes I can think of something to
Trade-off.
say that I wouldn't know if I picked up the phone or they called me that I would really even be in the frame of mind to say it.
Yeah. You can have like days-long conversations.
Well, I love texting because I'm partially deaf and I can't understand sometimes. So here we are, communicating. Normally I wouldn't be able to.
But I did learn sarcasm doesn't come off well. in typing.
I know. You're right. Somehow.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta like put sarcasm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There should be like a little icon for that.
There should be, yes.
There's like, I'm being facetious.
Yeah,
This is
there
the
should be a-
facetious
I've had
icon.
people take it a way that I didn't even think it could be taken.
Yes,
And I'm like,
yes.
wow, where did you get that from? And I'm like,
Yes.
read your text. I'm
Maybe
like,
the
oh, okay.
upside down face, like the upside down
Uh-huh.
smile should be known as like anything with that means
I'm not that
sarcasm.
serious about it.
Yeah, because I get that a lot. I was like, I can't believe you said that. I was joking. That was, it was an exaggeration.
But when you reread it, you can see how it was.
Yeah.
She
Kids is high with
so gently.
Kids at high level.
Saw the man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
we
go.
walked
He's gonna look awesome.
the red
Is he there now, or
I got there earlier. I just came home.
standing there by the
turned pink
sea.
today?
Yeah, should be cool.
Yeah. She really didn't want to do the video last night with her hair halfway
Just
done.
north of
She's
Frisco,
like, everyone's gonna ask about her
there
hair.
is a
So far,
land
nobody's asked about her hair.
where the women are women,
She's wearing a hat
and
too.
the man is still a man.
Yeah.
Cutting large trees, walking by the sweat.
I don't usually look at my phone when I'm with other people, but I wanted to see yours. That was beautiful. You know, there's a play called Our Town. And
Yeah.
Emily says people don't appreciate nonprofit living. It's true.
A minor
Yeah.
C.
That's why I like that movie. It's a Wonderful Life. We're talking about that. I mean, you just don't realize what you have. It's nothing physical.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend of mine. Well, yeah, actually, I thought she passed away, but she actually had a stroke. She's in bad shape, but she's still living.
30 seconds.
She has nothing, absolutely nothing in her life. Lives in St. Lucie County. If I said I needed $1, she would ride her bike up and say, "Here's that $1 you need, Chuck." And I said, "You know what that makes me feel like? That somebody that has nothing will do anything to help you." You know what I mean? I mean, that's
Yeah.
Are
that
you
is.
playing the guitar coming back in?
Sure.
And then I think of what little I probably do for people. You know what I mean? I don't. You know what I mean? I try to correct my.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
I remember you standing there by the sea, just north of Frisco. You were there with me. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
can I just mention something?
How is everybody doing? How are you? Hold on. 3, 2, 1. We're now live on Facebook as well. Go ahead. You wanted to mention what?
I just want the listeners to know I'm here with 4 men who are very sensitive and show their feelings. And I think it's extraordinary because a lot of men are afraid to show their feelings. And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, I've never been one of those pull up your bootstraps kind of John Wayne, you know, throw him in the river types.
Get over it, Becca.
This guy is the guy.
He wants some attention back there. Not behind the glass. Not the guy behind the glass.
Apparently, your
I'm
feelings
trying to
were
be
hurt.
sensitive after I yell at him in the mornings and go, "Did you get the new board in?"
There's a fine line between whiny and sensitive.
There you go. No.
He just said he was sensitive, and then you're like, jab, jab,
No,
jab.
he actually isn't whiny.
No, I'm
No.
joking.
he has a he has a
comforting
the only problem he has a pride problem.
Mhm.
He has a pride problem. What happened? It's the equipment. It's never pilot error.
Mhm.
You can't handle pilot error. Oh, no, I don't. You do. I don't know.
Red doesn't.
Anyways, that's another beautiful day in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. So what could Trump do now in order to win this election? What do you think he could do?
I mean, the main thing is apologize, because he's even I mean, did you notice Hillary even made a comment at the debate of how he never apologizes for anything? And he couldn't say anything because even in the Republican primary, there was a "What is your greatest weakness?" and Trump said, "I never apologize." He's aware that it's a weakness. I just wish now is a great time.
He could turn the entire election around. This is the secret,
Yeah,
but they don't get it. But you see, it has to be sincere.
it has to be.
And you have to say, I have done some jerky things in my life, said some jerky
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I was on that bus. We all know I said those things. I was a doomcough. I was younger, but
Yeah.
I believe now, later in life, I've made a lot of money. Listen, I do have my giftings, and I want to serve our country. I'm turning my business over to my children, and I'm going to serve America, and I'm going to help us financially. Please vote for me to make America great again. I promise you, I'm going to pull this off if you vote for me. Bingo.
If you paid really close attention in the debate, you'll realize something.
What?
Trump does not like to lie. He's an exaggerator. He's a
no, he won't lie.
bragger, but he really doesn't like to lie. And I can tell you this is why. And it's not going to make a lot of people like Trump, but this is the reality.
Yeah.
So the moderator was asking him a question about how he feels about abortion.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you want that about abortion being legal?" And he said, "I will elect judges that will make it so." And then "But do you want that?" "I will elect judges to make it so." And even Hillary was like, "Yeah, but do you want that?" And he said, "I will elect judges to make it so." And what that shows is he didn't want to lie. He didn't want to say, "Yes, I want that," because he doesn't. But he will elect
He
judges.
doesn't what?
He's against partial birth abortion. He's against full-term abortion.
Well, I happen to know that George Senior, our president, the first Bush,
Yeah.
they played it, though he was totally, anti-abortion, but they were middle ground people.
Well, obviously,
they had to do what they
Hillary
had to do.
Clinton even said, day of birth abortion was fine with her. But my point is that Trump is
crazy.
obviously conflicted when it comes to abortion, but has made the stance that he's going to elect conservative judges.
And my question is, Red, you say he could turn the election around. So do you feel he doesn't have it? And do you not feel that his actions speak louder than his words? I mean, he's one of those guys. He reminds me a bit of Ross Perot. He doesn't really need the job. He's looking to serve.
Well, we know what the things that Hillary has done. It comes out from WikiLeaks. And no, it's more important that he said he would grope a woman or whatever. I mean, look what Bill Clinton did, and yet that's making the press. Nothing about the substance is making the headlines.
One of the things that Mark says exactly right, and I don't know why he doesn't use this to his advantage when Hillary said Donald Trump doesn't do anything that's not good for Donald Trump. However, he could have stayed a billionaire businessman and lived happily ever after and never gotten into politics. So why is he in politics? To do better for himself? I wouldn't get that.
I believe just from an outsider that he's building a legacy. He really wants to just help. I mean, I really do. Is he pompous? Is he a little bit like Red Palmer on the air? I mean, yes.
I'm not pompous. No, see, no,
on
you
the
never
air.
said that on your own. Some doomcough walked in and said that in your ear.
He said that
Just
on
like
the
Dr.
air.
Ioannidis. Dr. Ioannidis recently said, you built my practice. And I said, well, thank you very much, but I'm sure you hear bad things. He goes, sure. He said, I had some guy in here last week, says, Red Palmer, he's arrogant and pompous and blah, blah, blah. And please don't interrupt me.
I didn't even say it.
You were leaning into the mic, Bucko.
Just getting ready
And
for my turn.
so he says, have you met Red? And the guy goes, no.
Yeah.
So, you know what, if you don't know them personally, don't take it
This is
personally.
like the story
Yeah, I
I
agree.
always tell about Rhett. The first day I met Rhett, it was my grand opening at my salon.
Yeah.
And here comes this freaking, I don't know how tall you are compared
7
to, I'm
foot 4.
I'm half Cuban, so I'm like short anyway. Here comes this giant, and he comes in, he's invading my personal space. I'm Red Palmer.
That's the
I
face
thought-
he has.
I thought, wow, who is this guy? I was literally a little bit afraid of him.
No, I felt-
Only later did I realize
Yeah.
that he has the heart of a child.
Yeah,
And that
he does. He's a big
if
kid.
you really analyze his movements, it's that of a 10-year-old
Yeah.
that's just sort of loping in.
That's true.
But because of his stature, I can
Very
see
big
I can
child.
see why people are a little bit.
Do you know
taken
what?
aback
You want to
by
know
it.
that day? You know what I remember? I
Hmm.
remember you had a beard, and I thought the same thing about you.
Yeah,
I thought you were
Al-Qaeda
like
story.
looking at me going, "Rrr," and I was like, "Rrr," and I was like thinking you were a mean.
I was
this
on
mean guy
I
with a
was
beard.
on the defensive because this giant was approaching me.
I remember that.
Aggressive stance.
Isn't that
Let's do
funny?
this.
Uh-huh.
Well, the first
Remember,
time-
two sensitive people.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that funny?
The first
Right?
time I
Yeah.
met Mark was groping my neck, and like it was, and then he was like, "Hey, how
Groping
you doing?"
you? Like
Oh
Trump?
man, like yeah. I mean, Inappropriate
I did
places,
grope
but
Mr. Dempsey.
I was thinking like, who
True
is
story.
this guy?
Well, you know, he is a hairstyle.
Well, I was gonna
Well,
say
he
this.
is, yeah,
you know what
exactly.
they say about hairstyles.
No, but it's a
Well,
funny
he's used to
thing.
touching people's
True,
head.
true story though. No,
Notice
but
he's wearing
in-
pink today.
In hairstyling, though, that's in support of breast cancer. Those are my girls. I got pink shoes too. In hairstyling, because we touch people, there is an energy exchange.
Oh yeah.
I can tell a lot. When I reach over and touch Chuck Cannon, I'm also feeling for his energy.
Are you
and
getting
it's
goosebumps
and it's
now,
a true
Chuck?
story because you
Yeah.
can feel when
Chuck?
somebody's
Yeah.
tense.
Did you get goosebumps?
Sure.
It's
I
funny.
wanna know what
It
he
is
felt.
one of my senses. If you
Well,
will.
and that's what you said too. You
Yeah.
you were touching my neck. We just met. He's touching my neck and just caressing it gently. And he goes, "Are you tense?
Uh-huh.
I feel a little
You
tense."
learn a lot about a person when you touch their scalp.
I'm like
That's a true
thinking,
story.
Mark, I'm tense because you're touching my neck and I just met you and I don't know you.
But on the record,
Yeah,
today, if I ran into Mr. Dempsey, I'd get a hug.
that's true. Oh, every day,
Unsolicited.
any day. Yeah, any day and every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they did
Great
a,
friends.
They did a study, and they said if somebody is paying $350 an hour to see a psychiatrist, a psychoanalyst,
Mm.
and he says or she says, go take a left at the fork in the road, and the hairstylist says take a right in the fork of the road, they'll listen to the hairstylist 60% more often than they will the psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever, because the hairstylist touches them, and people tend to trust people that touch them.
Well,
I was at a meeting yesterday morning, and this guy, big guy named Gravel, came walking by me.
Gravel?
Yeah, that's his nickname. He rides a motorcycle and everything.
See, I'd be a
And so-
little intimidated.
And so yeah, and Gravel's about 6'6". But anyway, he comes by, and he just puts his hand on my shoulder. Just come by, he gives a little squeeze and walks by. And it meant a lot to me.
That's
It meant,
cool.
I felt like, because guys don't normally,
Touch.
we
Yeah.
need to touch each other.
Touch.
There's healing in touch.
Okay, so I'll tell you this too. This is an interesting one to me. They did a blind study of basketball teams where they would see how many physical touches, congratulatory touches, slapped each other on the shoulder, high five kind of thing in the first half. And they found that there is an undeniable link between winning the game
Mhm.
and people that
No.
teammates that
Yeah,
touch each
yeah,
other.
yeah. And
That's right.
coaches
No.
that are more hands-on
Yeah.
have a better.
So does
way.
that mean you guys are all going to come back here and touch me now when you go on the air?
Yeah, you should.
I
Before
did.
they-
It's the #1 radio show across America. We don't know what happened, but he touches people now.
Rhett just has the touch.
That's right.
Rhett has the touch.
But you know,
Yeah.
you men are
Touch.
men are at a disadvantage because you're not supposed to touch. And I'd love it if a man touches me on the
Well,
shoulder,
of course, you're female.
acknowledges me.
Yeah, but you're feminine and you like the manly touch, the strong touch. That's
Yeah.
part of what seduces you.
Yes, I don't misinterpret.
Right.
I just
Mhm.
think if it's a loving man, he's expressing himself.
Yeah, I
Well,
hug people. I hug women though side by side. General. I don't do
Yeah.
breast to breast. I do the side
Yeah,
by
no,
side. thing.
same here. So.
But I literally I was singing in a church years ago, way up, and I was Vermont, I think it was. And this lady came up to me at the end of my concert, and she was an older lady, and I grabbed her and I hugged her, and she started to weep. She said, "My husband never holds me anymore."
That's sad.
I mean, and that
Oh,
yeah.
No, I've always said it. Somewhere in society, men shortchange themselves by not having that exchange. When I first started as a hairstylist, I was just a regular guy, and I was a little bit like weirded out by touch. But then after a long time,
Yeah.
you get used to it. And now I've learned from the women in my life, since I serve mostly women, and it's like, wow, that's beautiful that these girlfriends, they get together and they hug. So now I just go for it. I'm like,
I
whatever.
think my favorite thing about being a wrestler, because I was a wrestler growing up, was the fact that you get all these really tough guys, the toughest guys, the hardest working guys, and since they wrestle all the time, they're not afraid of touch. So they're the guys who will hug, massage each other, and everything. So they're really close teammates.
Yeah.
And all my teammates, I mean, I'm still close with pretty much all of them because of that.
And there's a spiritual connection there.
Yeah,
somehow.
definitely.
All right, guys, we got to take a break. Hey, Mark, tell them we'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these messages.
And today's broadcast is brought to you by
Mark's at the Point Salon and Boutique, 46 Royal Palm Point. If you hadn't had a waterfront pedicure, you're not living.
all of a sudden my engineer's not there. We went for break. Okay.
Mhm.
Where did you go?
I was going to make more coffee for your guests.
No, we got to do that on break because I didn't even look over here. I didn't even look over
Is
here.
that thing off? Are we having a private conversation?
Yes. Hold on. No. We're on YouTube.
You're
We're on
on
YouTube. You want to kill the YouTube?
No, I'll talk later. I was going to ask a restaurant question.
So you have a close relationship.
I have a
with your
lot of
daughter.
responsibilities working
With
for
your
the
daughter, you
Mayor.
have a close
yeah.
That's
relationship.
right. You're doing a good
Very
job, too.
prestigious.
Doing a good job here.
She feels free to talk to you about
Yeah.
life and what's going on.
Yeah. And she does with my wife too. I mean, we're very open with it.
That's evident when you see them in public.
Yeah.
You can always tell the kids that love their parents by how they act around their parents, how close they get to their parents. You know, she's engaged with them. It's good.
I wonder how your kids are going to be when they're like the teenager.
I'm trying to teach them to hate me. Now that yet another friend of mine died, I'm getting to that age. So I'm like, I should make my kids hate me so that when I'm dead, it's not that hard for them. You know?
We got in the car last night, I was asking my wife, I said, because we called her and her boyfriend and said, do you want to meet us out for dinner? And they like to go out back. So I said, we'll take you out back if you want to go. And they said, okay. And I said, when the dinner was over, I asked my wife, I said, do you think it was, we haven't seen him in a while, we should go out to dinner with him? Or do you think my mom and dad called and I would really like to go see it? You know what I mean? I mean, was it just like we need to do at least a dinner with them to get that out of the way for a while? Or was it, we had a great time, let's go out to dinner, you know? So
Mhm.
who knows? I don't know.
Have you seen, we should talk about this on the air. We're doing the show on the air. Has anybody seen The Accountant yet?
No,
I have not.
Oh, well, then we can't talk about it. It's good.
it is.
You can talk to them.
I like it.
It's got pretty good reviews. It's not bad.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we can't talk about that.
I saw the
Let me ask you something. Now, we'll ask you guys something else.
Magnificent
This is self-indulgent here.
Mhm.
So don't knock it. Because if you knock
This
it.
is self-indulgent, so don't knock it.
Oh, no, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I'm at a fragile point. If
Okay.
somebody came in and said, oh, no, that's no good, it'll kill it.
Gotcha.
It's just like,
30
you know,
seconds.
it's just like I'll write a new song.
Be sensitive.
And I get everybody loves it in the household, and I go to one friend, he goes, I like some of yours better, it sucks, boom, that's it, that's the end of it. I never put it out. It's why my music's not, it's why my books aren't out. But actually, we can't do it right now because we're on YouTube and we're gonna come back. So anyway.
You mean how people dampen your spirits that way?
Yeah, I want to share something with you guys, so, but I need objectivity, and then I forgot. what it was.
15 seconds.
That's one of those things you learn in life too, though. It's-
What?
You know, I'm a jokester, and sometimes you got to be sensitive. You got to be careful what you say to people because you never know where they're
Here we
at.
go, hold on.
There we
I'm
go.
at a funny place.
Hold
in
on.
my head, but
You're right.
he might be, you know, having a hard time.
But I
Okay,
did-
early voting starts Monday in
Monday.
Indian River County, is that today?
That is today.
Mhm.
Okay, early voting starts Monday. No, I think that's next Monday. And ends November 5th. What's today's date? Today is the 24th, okay. So early voting starts Monday, ends November 5th. Voters must have registered by the 18th. Now, you know, in Mexico, you have to have identification. In Mexico, you have to have identification. You have to have a driver's license in order to vote. What is this crap about not needing identification?
I don't know.
It's just bull crap.
Asinine.
It's jackass. But I want to, now you say, oh, well, that's the Democrats. The Republicans want to point it. Well, if it's the Democrats, then why the hell haven't you guys spoken up and changed it? You're failing. You know why? And that's why we need a Trump. We need a Trump to what?
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the
Okay.
swamp.
Okay, hold on a second. We got that. We got some unsavory fishes swimming around. We need Trump to clean up the town where the swamp is stinking. It's stagnant, you know it's true. Have some guts, folks. Have some guts and stand up for the red or white and blue. Vote for Trump.
Do you folks believe the polls? I mean,
Well, I think the Germans are not so.
Oh,
Is that God?
wow.
Do you believe in the polls?
I believe anything
No.
media is leaning left a bit,
Yeah.
always.
Oh, it's no doubt. Well, look what happened. Here's what happened in England. The exit thing. Remember the exit from the Euro?
Brexit.
yeah,
Mhm.
Brexit.
How come the Brexit? Excuse me. Thank you very much for that correction. And guess, and all the polls said it was going to go the other way, and it went this way. So we could get Ma Pa Kill coming down from the hill. We're going to go down. We haven't voted in the presidential election in 52 years. This time, we're going to go down and we're going to vote for Trump. Limit. Oh, I want to say one thing before you say anything. Just drove back all the way from Maine. Maine, not one Hillary poster in the yard, all Trump. Went through Vermont, not one Hillary poster. Went through New Hampshire, there was one for Hillary, it said Hillary for prison. Honest to God, all Trump. Went through New York State, all Trump. I think it was in Pennsylvania we saw my first Hillary, and that was it. Other than that, it's all Trump. I'm thinking, man, they're duping us, because why are the people not putting out the Hillary poster? I think we, the people, want to change.
True story. Ask the hair guy minute here. When I'm standing behind my chair
Yeah,
and I'm in a room, I'm not necessarily working on different people.
you're taking the
And
consensus.
people are talking about politics. If somebody mentions Hillary, I noticed that 90% of my chairs, and grant you, we're a Republican town, but
Yeah.
they all go silent. They don't chime in.
Mhm.
So I start looking at their eyes and their body language, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking 90% of these people are voting Trump, but they're not endorsing him, because like
We're embarrassed by the things he's done.
exactly like me, I cannot say that I'm on some sort of moral agreement with this
Well,
guy,
there was a
but I certainly like his policy.
there was a pollster that said exactly that when they're out taking polls, a lot of people will be quiet, and then when the mic's off, they'll say, "I don't want to go on record, but I'm going to be voting for Trump."
Yeah.
So there's a shame.
I'm
vote
seeing
Yeah,
it.
and
out
then you've
there.
got the fact that the liberals, look, this is honest engine. I'm just a little guy that's, when I was a kid, and I was up there at Jeb's inauguration with the Bushes and everything. That's when I interviewed Billy Graham. The first time I was up, I had my press passes, and this is years ago, right? And they built this big high stand. The only way you got entrees, you had to show the police you had your press pass. So I'm up there, and I swear, every time that a Democrat spoke, they applauded. And when a Republican got up, they jeered and went like this. And I'm going, wow, what's going on here? That's what I saw. Okay, American kid, naive American kid from upstate New York, which, like, I am a big kid inside. I saw it with my own eyes, heard it with my own eyes. The press is absolutely 98% liberal. And they, so of course they're not going to contest that. Somebody's not willing to speak up. They're going to say, well,
I wasn't here after the last debate on the radio, but I thought the moderator finally did a great job
I
actually
did
being
too.
Chris
neutral.
Wallace, yes.
Yeah,
You think
I
so?
was,
He was the
really
best.
impressed.
Mhm.
He did a great
He was
job
not easy on
asking
Trump
questions.
sometimes.
No, he wasn't easy on either.
And he shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be.
We
no.
should be back in the mentality that we just don't trust government, not just particular politicians.
yeah.
I mean, we grew up like that, right? You didn't trust the government.
Don't trust anybody over 30, man.
And the fact that we put on a different, yeah, well, that's true.
Thanks
But
a
the fact that
lot.
we put on a different color shirt and then we just follow blindly whatever that person says in the red shirt or the blue shirt really does bother me.
Mhm.
It's a false dichotomy. Actually, it's funny because my gospel minute today is going to be about that. But it's a false dichotomy where we are not a false dichotomy. It's an illusion. Like we get so wrapped up in this red versus blue, this kind of Republican versus Democrat thing, that we're just in a smoke and mirrors game and not looking at real issues.
True.
Because
Well,
here's the thing: Trump and Hillary are moderates. Now, I agree that they're extreme personalities, but they're actually moderates. That's what's insane about this. Everyone's so upset, and me too. I don't like them, but these are actually just moderates.
It reminds me of, I believe in the 1980s, I believe Sting it was, that came out with a song during the Cold War against Russia, and it said the Russians love their children too. There's a lot more in common than there is that divides us, but the media drives that
Yeah,
wedge,
that's true.
man. They
Yeah,
drive that
I know.
wedge.
I know.
It's amazing.
And it's a fun little fight show, and I get hyped up before the debates, and let's say, okay, let's see who's gonna, go to blows. But I'd rather have a real discussion.
Well, yeah, and you're right, because
Yes.
after some of the debates, when they went off, I'm thinking, I don't really know that I know what they stand for. It was,
Yeah,
I know which one's dirtier, which one in my mind was nastier,
yeah,
but the last,
Mhm.
the second debate, the first half hour was nothing but back and forth about how bad each other was. And
Yeah.
I get it, you're both bad, but now what about my
Yeah.
Social Security, and what about,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they would dabble in it, but then it would always come down to, well, he's a liar
Mhm.
or she's a liar, and I'm thinking, well, what are you doing about it though? I mean, that's fine. I agree. They're both liars,
yeah.
but the policies, I remember, when Gore and Bush debated about Social Security, it never ended the policies. I mean, it was there were very two bland politicians standing up there. They had very little attack at each other, but they talked about the safe box, and it went on and on and on. I'm like, okay, I
Yes.
get this.
Well, that was boring. We don't have a
But it was
boring
it
election.
was boring about issues.
I mean, that's
I
why
mean,
the media is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
The bottom line is
We've
they
gotten
want
too
to have the
involved in that,
listeners,
yeah.
the viewers, and the viewers like Trump because he's interesting, he's different, and to me, a little bit radical in a pleasant
He's an
way.
outsider, I guess.
Yeah, but regarding the polls, nobody ever called me because I won't answer the phone if I see an unusual number. I might call
Well,
ID.
it's also not only whether they ask you, but it's how they ask you and what kind of question they ask you that starts
Yeah.
shaping their.
Mhm. So I think we may be in for a surprise, you know.
It could be.
Mhm.
I hope so.
Could be.
Well, you're all speaking
No,
up, and
no.
I think it's interesting. I'm still on the fence.
Why
Can
do
you believe it? I mean, it's 2 weeks away, and I'm still trying to assimilate.
You're
that.
still on the fence?
I'm still on the fence.
Desperado,
You know,
why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences too long.
But it's
Great
hard.
song, huh?
It's hard to be truthful. I'm sitting here being honest with
Sure.
you, and you're
We
all
appreciate
looking at
that.
me like you're not voting
No,
for Trump.
No,
no.
no. Don't you judge us. Don't you project that.
Well,
We're here. We like
it's not-
people that have different views. Now get the hell out of here.
Get out of my show.
I don't know if anyone in
I
this
know
room-
you're not judging me, but you're looking at me like I wish I could convince her.
No,
Really?
no, I'm looking at you more like I'd like to understand. I mean, what I can honestly say I cannot morally align with either of them, but I'm
Yeah.
voting on particular issues that are close to me. That's all I've got.
I'm trying to
That's,
look at the issues. I don't want these illegals coming in and using my social security. I know that, I see that. So somehow or other it's clouded with some other issues. And as far as the way he is with women, that's his business. That has not affected me. Okay, man.
Oh,
What's
we
your
have to take a
answer?
break. We'll have to answer that break. When we come back, we will answer that question. We got to take a break. Keep it right here. It's we're going into our next hour. We'll be after the news. So stick right here. No, Cannon, you
Yeah.
can't leave.
Yeah.
No,
Cannon's out of here.
Cannon, you can't go. Sit down,
Yeah,
Cannon.
go on.
You're in trouble, Cannon. All right, we got to take a
I
little
do
break.
like that voice.
Somebody's got to make the roast beef, right?
Yeah.
It's, I'm getting hungry.
Mhm.
Lunchtime's coming. I want a roast
Lunchtime.
beef.
What's your favorite time of the year? Say lunchtime. Oh, walk around.
I love texting because I can hear what people have to say. I know I
Yeah, I
have
love this concept.
a
I wonder
call
what she
to come
charges
in.
for
45.
that. Per person?
Is that a lot?
Okay,
That's a lot.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
she
'cause
gives
when
you-
I-
she gives you.
I
canvas
can't
on
always
everything.
hear this, Richard.
And she pre-draws it. I was quite impressed. You want to hear what happened here? You know, the Gabby's the one, right?
I met this should
So
be.
she's gone?
So the lady comes in,
Speaking
I
to
do an
me.
interview with her. And I said, well, we normally get $250 for an interview. She said, well, I already paid. I said, what'd you do? She said, well, I paid Gabby. I promised I would do her
Your volume's low
painting
now.
of her dog for her mother's
Hi,
birthday
this
and
is
Christmas.
Gail calling. We're
Who?
listening
Gail.
to you and Rhett on the radio, and
Is
you
it?
said the call.
Let's
I
see.
don't know how to text. Is that unbelievable? I don't know how
We'll
to text.
talk about that.
So,
Are we working on that or not?
We're listening all the way from New
No,
Hampshire.
no, don't hurt yourself, because I'm with
Anyway, have
you.
a
You
good
hurt
trip
yourself,
over
you're down
there.
for
Let us
months.
know when you're coming.
I still, my mid-back still hurts.
So
Talk to
then
you
don't,
later.
don't. You need,
Okay.
I mean,
Thank you. So it's Gail.
Eventually,
Just
you
get
need to
from
like
Thank you.
gently.
Mhm.
No, I know. So let's do this.
They're up in New
Next
Hampshire.
week,
Yeah.
starting next month,
Mhm.
Yeah.
let's just walk the bridge. Gently. Just gently.
We could do that tonight.
You know, well, whatever.
Let's walk the
If
bridge.
you're up to it, but
Let's do that.
I
That
don't
would be
want you.
different.
I don't want you to hurt your body.
Let's walk the bridge. You
I thought you were there,
I'll
yeah.
pick you up, I'll pick you up.
Mhm.
I'll go to your house and then we'll walk over your house.
Just call me, remind me.
That
I'll
way-
be sitting there like I did a few weeks ago at 8:30 at night, and like, Tom, I'm so tired of you. Hey, we're gonna work out. I'm thinking, oh my God, so that's it. But I wouldn't have did it, you know?
Yeah, I'll come. That's what's good.
Yeah, yeah, okay. You
Um,
know, take it with you.
but we'll talk about it.
Take it with you. We'll play it.
I got some things to say.
Hi, Gail. We're on break. I got your message and glad to hear that you're listening in. And I will be in New Hampshire the 30th and the 1st. So I'll get in touch with you. But glad to hear that you're listening
We're doing
in
a half hour.
to us crazy people. Bye
You
now.
got the Diane Kingston we gotta put on. Remember, she's once a week.
That's good.
So I've got her from last week that I've got dropped in, her son, she texted.
I
me,
really
so
am
says,
on the fence with
she
you.
can't
Yeah,
talk.
I understand, to be honest.
I
Wow.
don't know which day we're
Wow.
gonna play. We guess we got-
I've been on the fence for a long time myself.
What the heck?
Were you?
Yeah,
Once a week.
honestly, what has
And I'm not
pushed
sure
me a
what
little
that-
bit more towards Trump
Mhm.
is the negotiating with the trade deals, because I really think that that's the thing that he
Mhm.
understands
Mhm.
and the thing that he'll do better.
Mhm.
And to me, that's the dividing line, is
Mhm.
that I think that he's gonna make some good trade deals. I think it's gonna help getting manufacturing jobs back in America. I think that we need that.
Those are very important.
Yeah,
You ever watch
Yeah.
Big Bang?
I don't
Theory?
actually agree with him on immigration. to be
I always
honest.
get a kick when
Yeah.
you do this. and she
I think
does
she's
it.
a very strong person.
She shakes the
I don't
head.
mean that she's
Sure,
ethical.
she's intelligent.
Well, you know, I've had that
She's
happen.
strong.
Somebody goes like this, you go like this.
Driven.
Bye, Chuck.
Somebody
Great.
goes
See you,
like this, you go
Chuck.
like this,
Yeah,
vice
they're all
versa, you
like,
know.
Yeah,
What do we
she's
do?
driven for
But I
herself.
like this because it's less German.
I don't think that she'll do, you know, I mean, I
Why are
don't
you
think
leaving
there's
us?
anything
You
that
know,
she's really
I
I
passionate
got a party.
Trump,
tonight. I gotta
Trump
get
has
some
two issues that
more.
he's passionate about and cares about. Immigration, which I actually disagree with him,
Go out
and
there.
trade deals, which I agree
I've
with.
rebuilt this oven so
But
many times. I
what does Hillary have?
Mhm.
And now I
It
got so
just
much
bothers
invested
me
in it, I
about
need to
being
get rid of it.
Well, you had fun, didn't you?
Extemporaneous in so many ways. I want a person who is steadfast in what he believes and follows
All right,
through.
Chuckaroo.
But I think he jumps from one thing to
Thanks for
another.
coming in.
Then again, he's promoting himself.
Yeah, and you gotta, I personally, I think that's his personality, but if you actually look at his work ethic when it comes to doing the time, he's built businesses, he
Mhm.
works hard, he works consistently.
Mhm.
So I think that he'll be actually very consistent. And
Hey.
he doesn't jump on
You.
issues. I mean, Hillary's jumped on issues a lot.
I want you to do
Whatever's
me a
most
favor.
convenient, you know, homosexuality, she used to be against it, she's for it,
Yeah.
you know. So,
Do me a favor.
the thing is with Trump,
I want
if
to
you
invite
look
me
at
over
interviews
to
from
your
20 years ago, he was talking about trade and immigration.
I want to come.
So, you know, he's got,
He's
He's
ahead of the
consistent,
game,
you
so
know.
to speak, yeah.
well, I mean, he's got that work ethic and that
You're a
consistency.
drummer, right?
His
I'll carry you a
personality
Right.
is
You have a drum set
not
set there?
likable to me, and I think that you're saying the same
Well,
thing.
we don't even need a drum.
But,
I
you
just saw
know,
a new song. What's
I
like
think he's
somebody-
gonna do well
Paul
because,
McCartney's son. He's got a guy playing bass.
somehow or other, I just have a feeling a lot of people are not speaking up.
Those are
And I
cool.
think when it
I
comes
want you to hear
time
my
to
song. Are you
make the
gonna
road,
run for a few minutes?
he's gonna do
Yeah,
well.
I don't know, we'll see. I'll be a little surprised if he wins, but
Would you really?
I think it's gonna be close.
It seems like it's so definite. I can't believe it. I just got a phone call from New Hampshire. My friends are listening to the show.
Oh, did they enjoy it?
Yeah.
Because you said the thing about, you know, who's the farthest away,
Oh.
instead of probably calling.
Is that what they called?
Yeah, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Mhm. Concord, New Hampshire.
Say it on the air. Just say what's happening.
Yeah. Mhm.
You ready?
Mhm. Oh. The hair guy is coming, isn't he?
A minute 30, Red.
What does this thing do?
Now you ask.
Yeah, after 10 o'clock mornings, really jam, my friend Chris Olenek, okay? I mean, jam them. You can play them every freaking 15 minutes if you want to. Love the guy.
Got it.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine because you're mine. I won't deny.
Is Mark coming back? Aren't you going to talk about marijuana?
Hold on, yeah, but what are you going to talk about? Oh, the people called, yeah. That's more important.
Mhm.
I wish I could afford a new mattress. I think I need a mattress. So you guys are coming with us. It's good.
Mhm.
He's coming with us with his wife. There's going to be 5 of us.
Oh, okay.
45 seconds.
Mhm. Now,
So what's going on for the next
20 seconds.
hour, half hour, whatever? We doing the health thing?
Skin cancer is no laughing matter. You should have a full body scan every year. Treasure Coast Dermatology with Dr. Tim Laney. He's over on 37.
You're not in any rush, right?
That's right.
No.
Take care of
You're
yourself,
not in any rush.
and your skin will take care of you.
And now we know. Hey, this is the mayor of the airwaves. How are you? My friends are bringing Shades of Buble to town Friday, November 18th. Get your tickets now, musicworkconcerts.com, 772-778-5249. 778-5249. And I'm just doing that mention as a favor for my friends. They didn't even ask, so I'm just doing it because I wanted to. Michael Bublé, I like him, you know.
Yeah.
I want to go home. I want to go home. I'm stuck in Europe and I'm so alone. Oh, I want to go home.
That sounds more like Randy Newman to me. You know, Randy Newman.
Short people got nobody. Short people got nobody. Got a little tiny hand, little tiny feet, and you can hardly hear them when they're walking across the street. I don't want no short people. I don't want no short people around me.
My brother actually had a funny incident at a Randy Newman concert. He was at a Randy Newman concert, and Randy randomly started bashing the Bible and talking about all the reasons why he doesn't like the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was that he was like, he was talking about what was he? It was a story in the Bible. One of the stories of the Bible of like. When God hated one brother's gift, in terms of Cain and Abel, and he's like, why did God hate Cain's gift and everything like that? And he's like, can anybody answer me that? Why did God hate Cain's gift and everything? And then there's silence, and my brother from the thing yelled out, because he didn't give it from the heart. And Randy just kind of sat there and went into a song. Didn't say a word, and then left the stage. And he was supposed to perform more songs and was just done.
oh,
Yeah, he was so upset that.
but really dampened
But
his
he asked
spirits.
why, and then John Pierre's like, well, I know, I'll yell at him. So I guess he didn't like that. So, but apparently Randy Newman not a big fan of the Bible.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what's on your phone right now? Something interesting, Rhett?
Oh, yeah.
I just heard from my friends from New Hampshire. They've been
Really?
listening in. Yes, Concord, New Hampshire. Hmm.
Are they going to get the award for,
Farthest out.
If they're the furthest so far, yes, they should get it. What's the award?
with the award?
Yeah.
They get to spend time with me next summer up in Stowe, Vermont.
Oh, yeah.
No, if they come down here, I will take them out for either a luncheon or dinner,
Hmm.
their choice.
Okay, I'm a witness. Good.
Yes.
That's very nice.
We'll all go to the Ocean Grill.
So if you're
Waves crashing.
Yeah.
farther than New Hampshire, let us know and you might steal it. From them.
Yes, because we have gotten calls as far as New England, Texas, I mean. So yes, so they came in this morning. So far, New Hampshire,
New Hampshire?
you own it, live free or die trying, something like that, right?
Is that the motto?
Live free or die, yeah.
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 Live free. Man, that's a very depressing motto. For New Hampshire.
What isn't it? Live free or die?
Live free or die.
Yeah, that's their
Yeah.
motto.
And I think it's so
Pretty
funny.
hardcore.
Liquor stores are owned by the government.
In New Hampshire? Oh,
Well,
wow.
that's because they know where the money is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I don't like about Miracle Mile. You know, the Vincent's opened back up, and I love Vincent's. But what's over there? You know, where they're building a new building at Miracle Mile,
Mm.
over there near the Fresh Market.
Well,
They're building a building that's in the middle of where the parking lot used to be.
yeah.
They're moving ABC Liquors into that. How?
Really?
Everybody go, oh,
Oh.
you know, too many damn
Well,
liquor
they
stores.
did the demographics. They probably figure there's a
Oh,
lot
the
of
whole,
people.
they are, they're making millions monthly. I
Yeah.
guarantee you.
But ABC was right there anyway.
Yeah, I know, but they're moving to a freestanding. Probably studies show that they get more business if they're probably drive up liquor thing.
Oh,
That's a-
I'm
that's
wrong.
illegal.
Why
That's
don't
illegal.
I don't walk inside? That's more vodka, please.
So what is going to go in the ABC store now? That's what's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might be cool.
What
Maybe
could
some
it be?
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
never know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, so you never know.
Yeah.
This town has a hard time having consistent restaurants. Chuck isn't with us right now, but that's a rare story, I think, of how long he's been successful. in Vero
35
Beach.
years.
Yeah, it's so many stores, restaurants
No,
open
no.
up and then close
We have the
down.
Tides. They've been successful for, I don't know, 14 years now, whatever it is. We have the Ocean Grill's been successful forever.
Yeah, but look at like Joey's was super
Joey's.
popular for a little bit and
Who's
then it's
Joey's?
closed down. Wasn't there like a Joey's that was on? Okay, the one that's
Joey Seafood
now-
Shack is still in business and he does great.
is that what it's?
But we should go for
That's what
lunch
it's
there
now?
today.
Is that the one that by Panera
On
Bread?
US 1. No, it's on US 1.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the fish shack, the fish,
It's now
Oh.
fish something.
something fish. Yeah.
It's something
Bone,
but that-
bonefish.
That's been like 10 different
Oh,
restaurants.
yeah, that's the
and they've all
manager that
closed
came
down.
in here.
Mhm.
And they wanted to promote this and that. They're first on, they're doing this with a charity. I said, you know, every time you big shots come to town and open up a national thing, I said, you never advertise with me. Now here I'm paying for this time. Oh, we're going to do business with you. We're going to, now how many years have they been in? Not a dime, folks.
Mhm.
Not a dime.
Mhm.
Liar!
Yeah, and then Brugger's closed down too. That was right over in the Miracle Mile.
Yeah,
area.
but that was an attempt. But listen, here's the funny thing is, these other brothers come along
Mm.
and buy that.
Yeah.
And what do? They change it around. They put like $400,000 in new decor, whatever it is. This is conjecture on my part here, say. And they open up. I mean, it's another bar. People don't want another bar.
And nobody's in there
Nobody's
whenever
in
I
there.
go there.
And you know what the funny thing is? When I did go in there, there's a couple of brothers, and they made a lot of money, I think, in hedge funds and stuff. So this it doesn't really matter. They don't have to succeed.
Okay.
So here's the
Oh, that's
deal.
good to know.
So I go in there, and I met the other brothers, really nice guys and everything. And I go in and meet the brother they're doing it for,
Mm.
and he's like, you know, when not a nice guy.
Uh,
There's a million magazines like yours in town. You know, I said,
Really?
excuse me, we're the only one that also has a radio show, and we have phenomenal success stories that people have advertised with. So you know what I did? I didn't go back.
Yeah.
I didn't go back.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know, he reminds me of the guys that started a place out west of town.
Yeah.
And I walked in there and they gave me ill treatment. I've noticed consistency. People treat me ill, that they generally don't have success. You know, they opened it up, it's called Grizzly Ribs. Who the hell would name a place Grizzly Ribs with a big bear out front? Do you want Grizzly Ribs? Yeah. Is that stupid or what? But the most important thing is that it's like not nice people, and you know, and now the nice people have a success story. You know, the new ice cream place that opened, the gelato place in Miracle Mile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have I taken you there?
No, but I've
Well,
seen. Oh, that's right. I've
you gotta
seen
go.
your live
I've
videos there.
I've
Yes.
taken you there, haven't I, Sweet
Oh,
Kiss?
yes.
Okay.
Very.
So I go in about a year and a half ago. And let me tell you, this is how giving came back to me abundantly.
Mm.
So I go in there, and unbeknownst to the people listening to my show, this is a mother and daughter who escaped a bad situation in Hungary and came and started Sweet Kiss.
Mm.
So I knew they didn't have much dough, so I gave them complimentary ads just because I liked them
Mm.
on the radio. I had them in here, interviewed them, and then I put them on Facebook.
Yeah.
So about a month later, she says, Mr. Palmer, she says, this is her words, 97% of the people coming through the door
Yeah.
are saying they heard us on your show. We had a line down the street last week, and 97% are saying they either heard us on your show or on your Facebook.
Mm.
So now I'm telling this story to some other people in town. I won't mention them. But anyway, so, well, actually, I will tell the first one. It was Bev Paris.
Mm.
And Bev Paris from Paris Productions. She says, oh, could we pay you for that? And I'm thinking, yeah. So now you know what? I have multiple customers because I have such a following with the 5 different Facebook pages and the, what's the other thing, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. So now it's included in some of our packages. Like for instance, Val Zudan, he's running for office.
Yeah.
You know, we're promoting him on Facebook, you know, and people do amazingly well. I mean, I just put Anne Marie McChrystal on there the other day. She's running. Delightful. She's running for hospital trustee. And I got to tell you something. There was like all these, well, you said what happened? That I put you on and you got a bunch of people that responded?
Well, my whole Gospel Minute video was inspired because of you. So
How did I do that?
I knew that there was live videos on Facebook, and I'd seen you live a bunch of times. And then one time I'm clicking on you live, and you said, "Hey, Richard, I see that you're there. Could you go live?" This is kind of funny though. So I go, fine, all right. So I was taking a nap at the time, and so I'm like, I get dressed and everything, and I go live, and here I'm live on my Facebook, and no red. And I'm waiting, and no red. And then he asked me to go live, so I'm live and no red. So he was trying to have me test out some feature. I have nothing to say, and all these people from my past started logging in to see what was going on with me live, and it's just me staring, going, "Hey, Red, are you there? Where's Red?" So I just started, kind of trying to talk to people, and I got so many views that I'm like, okay, next time I do this, I'm gonna have something to say. And I thought about it, and I came up with the Gospel Minute.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Now
you got hundreds of followers.
Now, hundreds. We had,
you go live at 5.
One video had, over 1,000 views just recently. This was last week, and most of them get in their 500s. They've done it from Habitat, and I do a lot more recorded videos now because the live thing is really flaky sometimes.
Well, it doesn't have to be live, and if you record it, then you don't lose it.
Yeah.
Like we went live this morning. I don't know if you know that we were live on Facebook for half an hour this morning. But if you record it, then you got it. You can replay it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't know, you can lose stuff on Facebook.
And I just figured out how to add subtitles. It takes a little bit of busy work to do it, but you can add subtitles.
And it's all about interpret what you're saying?
No. So the best way to do it, you have to actually load it onto YouTube, and then it automatically does it, and then you have to fix it because it's never right. But so it does take a little bit of work.
Kind of like Siri.
Yeah, well, worse than Siri, but it does.
I told you I'd meet you at the Bucket at 9:30. No, the Market.
Yeah,
but she changes stuff all the time.
She does, yeah.
Meet you at the Bucket.
And that's
another
time
some
women are. They always.
And anytime you try to say SHI, it always comes out. What does they say?
Sugar.
No, something else.
That's a better word anyway.
I'll tell you what, I'll try
say sugar instead of it.
Sugar or fudge.
Let's see if she corrects.
Bull sugar.
But I think, Red, when I started with you.
Shot. It automatically corrects the shot. You're a big shot.
Okay. But when I started with you in January, you didn't use your phone so much. But wow, you have used your phone in such a positive way here in being a host on a radio. It's extraordinary.
It's the future. I really think it is more and more that social media is the way to do it, and that's why I try to do so much ministry on. And it's been amazing. I've had people that I would never have met before that I've built friendships with.
Really?
Because they watched my video and then they made a comment or they shared it, and then I'm like, who is this person? We start talking and we become friends. Actually, one of your really loyal viewers that case is Cameron Stansel, is a guy who listens to your show all the time and watches my Gospel Minutes, and we've become like friends, and it's pretty cool that just from social media.
When you talk about your Gospel Minutes, is that under
on my Facebook page? Yeah. At this point, that's really the only main way to watch it. They are public, so you don't even have to have a Facebook account. But on my Richard Demsick Facebook page, and then my 923 community for the church's Facebook page as well, they have all the Gospel Minute videos, which is kind of a fun, silly. I do different things, and I do a daily devotional talking about, some kind of point for the day of like a little message that's positive, and then some kind of illustration. Usually, like I danced in one of them.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So I would like to be a friend.
Oh yeah, definitely. Are we not friends?
No, we're not friends.
Oh.
And a friend's a friend forever. If the Lord's the Lord of them. And a friend will say not never, 'cause the never ever ends. And remember that song by Michael W. Smith? And a friend's a friend forever, if the Lord's the Lord of them. and a friend will not say never, 'cause the loving never ends. That's what Friends of Africa.
I'm amazed at your memory. Really, how you could pull it out of the
Yeah,
air.
right there. He's really good with songs. I'm pretty good with movie quotes. I feel like I've got the movie quotes. He's got the songs. You know.
Okay, give us a famous movie quote.
Okay, here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah, he's looking at you, kid. And who said that? Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart, Casablanca.
Casablanca, but he doesn't actually say it. And it does.
Or you know what the other
Maybe
one?
he does say it, yeah.
He says that one. It's the play it again, Sam, that he doesn't say. The other one that I really like is the to the people out there in the dark. You know that? I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeVille.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I watched
Lovely
last night?
people
Did
out
you
there
watch?
in the dark.
Did you watch the Johnny Depp movie Transference? I think it was called.
I haven't actually watched that one yet.
Wow.
Was it good?
I watched last night on my iPad.
Yeah? All right.
It's all about this computer becoming a living computer and taking over the world.
Interesting.
Did you see it?
No.
I used
hold
to
on, let me put on the
love
headset.
Johnny Depp movies,
So
but lately
what'd you
I've been-
think? It really was. And now, did you see Johnny Depp in that movie about that really bad, the criminal up there in Boston that they finally caught?
Yes, I did just recently see that.
Now, I think Johnny Depp should have won an Oscar, hands down, for that performance. And they just ignored him.
Who did win the Oscar?
I don't know, and I don't care. Remember that I don't know he's on first and I don't care is on third? Anyway, so.
Was it Leo? Was it the Leo one?
I don't know.
Because I know that Leo recently won the Oscar.
But anyway, Johnny Depp should have won.
Yeah, I don't think Leo should have won.
What an actor.
Oh,
He
my
did.
word.
Yeah.
You couldn't even tell. There was such genius involved in it. He actually sacrificed himself, because if you watch that, it in no way amplified the career of Johnny Depp. Not that it needs amplification, but because he totally went into character to the point where there was no recognition. They changed him utterly. Everything about him was, and he became Bulger. It was simply amazing. And I know some people in town know Johnny Depp, and if you know him, tell him the mayor of the airwaves thinks he's exceptionally gifted,
Yes.
and I love what the guy touches. I'm not crazy about Edward Scissorhands because I just don't like dark stuff. But you know, did you like Edward Scissorhands?
See, I love the Johnny Depp. I can't believe I'm forgetting the director's
The
name
Pirate?
that he did together.
Oh.
No, they did Edward Scissorhands together. They did Sweeney Todd. They did like a bunch of.
Okay, now it's time for Red Bull Write the Song. Okay, you got to pick a subject.
Okay.
And I will write a song, including that subject in the song.
Okay.
Stump the songwriter.
Okay.
Movies?
Well, I like to go to the movies. There's not many that I miss. I like to sit in the balcony and my girlfriend I like to kiss. Well, I like to go to the movies, oh, yes sirree, 'cause I can escape this world and live in movie fantasy. Okay, how's that?
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. Well, I like Hellman's mayonnaise on my toast. I like Hellman's mayonnaise. I don't mean to boast. It may be a little more expensive, yes sirree. But if you want to be happy and you want your palate to be pleased, Hellman's mayonnaise for me. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's
Amazing.
good.
It's
Yeah.
marginal.
Yeah, it's good.
I do
You're
like
in a
music.
marginal for mayonnaise.
Hold on.
Get it?
Margin.
Margin? No? Okay.
What would life be? What would a tuna sandwich? It would not please me if I didn't have some mayonnaise. And it's always Hellman's for me. Well, I love that mayonnaise. Oh, it live it belong. If it wasn't for mayonnaise, I'd be singing a sad song. So,
Very good.
anyway, so stump the songwriter. Okay? We forgot about the guy behind the glass. We don't want you to feel neglected over there. So how you doing, by the way? Yeah. I walk right in here and I go, what did I say? How's the new board? Did you test it? Because I was a nervous wreck. I tell you what, Sean, give yourself, hit the applause, especially the one that cuts off suddenly.
All right.
Look at this, folks. Watch. What kind of applause is that? Fix that. Afternoon today when we get up there, right? Now, so stump the songwriter. You got to give me a subject and I'll write something for you. Oh, my word.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, good one. I like that.
When Hillary is president, it's gonna be glum. I'll tell you, my friends, yeah, I'll tell you how it come. You ain't seen stupid, you ain't seen dumb when Hillary is the president's son. Well, it's gonna be bad, it's gonna be blue when Hillary is president of the red, white, and blue. I'm gonna be wondering. Let's see, we've got to come up with something better than that.
It sounded like a Leonard Cohen. You know, Leonard Cohen. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. When Hillary is president, the races will be sold. Oh, when Hillary becomes president, the flag will grow moldy and old. Everybody's gonna be sad and blue. There's 4 more years of Obama for you. Don't you want something bright, shiny, and new? Even though he's half whacked and crazy, Trump is the better choice for you. Everybody,
Nice.
that was all right. That wasn't that good. But anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. This is the Mayor of the Airways. Keep it right here. You and I in a series of getting and staying healthy together. Coming up.
Richard, I thought if I voted for Trump,
Yeah.
the best part would be that when Hillary becomes president, I can complain about her.
That's true. I don't know why people seem like to be.
So you're going to go ahead and play our half hour from last week with her?
To vote for someone who they know is going to win. That's one of the things that's interesting about why they're pressuring people to say that the Hillary's up in the polls and everything like that, because they think that that's more likely to make people vote for Hillary. And I just think that's weird about people. I mean, I don't care if I vote for someone who didn't win.
Mhm.
I'd be happy to vote for someone who didn't win, because then I don't feel blamed for all the things that the person did bad.
Yeah,
You
right.
know?
Mhm. Yes,
So
very interesting.
I'd be like, well, I didn't vote for him, you know, it's not my president.
What's the name of that movie with Johnny Depp?
Transcendence?
What's the name?
Transcendence, I think you said?
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Say it again.
All right, so,
Tim Burton.
Oh,
hey, Rhett.
What?
Are we doing the staying fit with you thing, or is that a record thing?
Oh, that's recorded.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, what are you doing the rest of the day?
we're going to 11.
I got to film a gospel minute, which you should
Why
like.
don't you come out? Why don't you want to come out with us to CJ Cans and have late breakfast?
Yeah, I could do that.
They only
I
serve
think-
breakfast till
yeah,
11, so we
it's
gotta
gonna
go
be
now.
gone, So I could do that.
Oh,
yeah.
we're finished? Are we just signing off?
No, they're going to play the show we did last week with what's her name about health.
Diane.
So anyway, I want to be your friend. Did you say?
Yes, I requested you.
So, okay, that's your, when I go to Facebook, I should see that.
Yes.
Mhm. Oh, here we are. Oh, okay. Okay.
So if you go to the people thing, and then just click confirm.
Oh, confirm, gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait.
They took the gun that was on here on Facebook with the little pictures you can pick, and they turned it into a squirt gun.
Oh, and the other guy who requested you, Cameron Stansel, that's the guy I was talking about that we became friends because of Facebook, because he watches the Brett Palmer show all the time.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He's one of your most loyal Facebook people.
Really?
Brett, I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah.
I have,
With a wooden spoon, maybe we should go over there and have.
Yeah, you've heard that? I haven't been to CJ's in a while.
Okay, we'll go to CJ.
Go to CJ's.
So we're all going tomorrow night. Great. Your wife agreed. She's cool with us.
Yeah.
Starts at 8.
Starts at 8.
And you want to dress a little bit more. It's opening night.
Okay.
Some people will be there in season. They'll be there in black ties. You know, you work at the Riverside Theater.
Yeah.
Opening night, they generally get a little dressed up.
Okay.
Because then the
I've
principal.
never done opening night, but I do Friday nights.
I've been there for the ballet once, and it was pretty fancy.
Okay.
And everyone was
Good
dressing.
luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna.
Oh.
Thank you.
Everybody's talking about losing weight, gaining weight, too big of plates. Well, this is the lady who has made her life nutrition, family nutrition center of South America. At least once a month and not once a week, right?
Okay, then let's get together this afternoon. Why don't you call me when you get everything? Maybe we can meet 1:30, 2 o'clock today. How's that sound? Yeah, I got a meeting that I'll get out of it about 1 o'clock, and I'll just wait for you. Don't eagle out there. We'll grab a bite or have some coffee together. Forget about it. Go ahead. I'll just go get coffee.
Everybody's talking about losing weight, gaining weight, too big of plates. Well, this is the lady who has made her life nutrition, family nutrition center of South America. Diane Kingston, welcome back to our broadcast. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Medical nutrition therapy, nutrition counseling, kidney massage therapy. You can reach her 538-1860, and she can. How are you? Say hello to the And we also, of course, our concierge, who is where